my technology.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I am so grateful still to have you guys all here in this group, participating in the workshop, coming back to watch the case studies, whether you're here live or watching on the replay. I super appreciate your time and attention. I hope that you've had time to get through all of the replays so far. If you haven't, the replays are up until Wednesday night. So you've got lots of time to get caught up. I have even made a YouTube playlist. So you have no excuse to not be able to binge watch. You can literally hit the first video and let it autoplay, and you can go through all the videos and the case studies and all the things. So and actually one of the experts within my program who helps me make it what it is. She comes in once a month and does success coaching, NLP, hypnosis, time techniques, tapping, whatever we need at the time. She made some comment about when she's attending workshops, she likes to have them available on YouTube so she can speed it up a little bit so she can kind of watch it as quickly as she can absorb it. I don't know if anybody wants to speed me up. I think that would probably sound like a chipmunk, but anyway, you are welcome to try that. So if anybody needs to be tagged in any of the replays or needs the link for the YouTube playlist, let me know, and I'm happy to hand it over and get that to you. But in the meantime, we're here with one of the other, they're all amazing. One of my amazing clients, Marri Jane. She came into Alignment U in, I want to say May, June.
Yes, correct.
Yes. Just the end of May, I think it was.
Just at the end.
And she had attended at least that one workshop before, if not a few before that, and had been kind of on the fence about joining, was thinking about it. And then, finally, we actually were in cahoots about her manifesting this particular position that she wanted, this better position that she wanted so that she could come into the program. So with that being said, I would love it, Marri Jane, if you would kind of just walk us through what you were kind of experiencing or going through that led you to not necessarily finding me, because that's divine intervention, but what led you to making the decision to jump into Alignment U and really commit to manifesting a way to make it happen.
Oh, hi, Danielle. Well, while you were saying that, as I was just thinking about what to say, I got those chills again. And
I love it.
Those chills, and this time they were just creeping up from my legs all the way up, and they're like at my elbows right now. And that's a big part of what my decision making is. I have this like confirmation chills, and I believe a lot of people, I guess this is my way of the universe communicating with me. And so do I take it back on how? So let me just start from where my mind is going. So I was divinely laid off from corporate America a couple of years ago. And I was really kind of unfulfilled in that particular position for a while, And I was really just drawn to honing in my, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? And I started feeling the nudge of creativity. I started feeling just, I don't know, just there was something more. And I found a part-time job, and I also found direct sales, and I found myself really jumping into the creative aspects of my personality. But so I was like, okay, I know I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I just never had a chance to really express that because I was always, working my way up the corporate ladder through different glass ceilings, so on and so forth. And I grew up in a way that I didn't really get a chance to understand who I was, like, who is Marri? And so when I had this opportunity and then the direct sales, the sky's the limit kind of thing, I was like, well, gosh, so I went out and I just started jumping in a bunch of different Facebook groups. And one of them was women entrepreneurs. And I would see Danielle's face pop up. And I remember scrolling through, I'm like, who's this girl? And I had never seen her before. And then I would put the phone down and I listen as much as I watch. And I would hear just these nuggets of just truth, just these genius nuggets that would just speak right to this knowing inside of me. And I would pick up the phone, I would look at her again. I'm like, who's this girl? And then, I'd go on about my day, and then she'd show up again, and then she'd show up again. And then when she started talking about her programs, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But I just knew where I was. I just wasn't able to afford it. But I could afford the bits and pieces. So I took a couple of different programs and I was watching and I was just like, oh my gosh. every time I would see her face, I was like, I just know. The reason why I kept seeing you is I'm gonna work with this lady. I know I'm gonna work with her in some way, shape. I'm at what time I don't know. I just
Yeah.
knew. So
Mhm.
it was one of the obviously the last times that I was ready to join. I was like, I was at the point where in my business, I really needed to show up. I really need to go live. I really need to show my authentic self.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, I get so anxious. And I felt like I was constantly self-sabotaging myself,
Mhm.
constant self-sabotage. I didn't even know what to call it that back then.
Yeah.
And I was even self-sabotaging through my husband. He would
Mhm.
walk in when I was ready to do a live. I was all prepared and, just different things. And I was just like, what is going on? And I just knew, you know what? If this is what I really want to do, I need to make more money. So I finally put my resume back out there and started looking for jobs. And um, an opportunity came my way that was just like a dream. Like, where did this come from? Like,
Yeah.
really? And then when I went on the interview, she offered me the job in the moment. And I remember bursting into tears. Who bursts into tears in an interview? And it was just because who she was, the company, everything. It
Mhm.
was basically everything that I had known up to that point, but just in a new, brighter,
Mhm.
lighter sense. And I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my gosh. And I remember reaching out to Danielle. I have this job opportunity. And I'm like, how do I know it's mine? I want to make sure it's mine. And the thing that I love about Danielle the most is that she's available. She's humble. She's real. She'll tell you her mistakes. She'll be like, I screwed up on this. Every once in a while, little F. She's very everything, but she's available and she writes back to you. Like I am the girl up to that point. I had taken so many different courses and different things about selling online, social media, all this stuff, but the people were just not available. And I
Mhm.
think I needed that. I needed just that extra question. It would always be like, oh, ask the question in the group kind of a thing. But
Mhm.
you have a very hands-on, very intimate approach to everything. And so that was when she was writing back to me. She's like, well, how do you feel about it? Like, honestly, I go, oh yeah, the job is mine. She goes, well, then it's yours. Don't worry about it. But I'm used to like, well, why are they calling? Where's that second email? Why is all this stuff? Then the
Yeah.
background. Oh my God, the agonizing background check. And then I was like, Danielle, well, you know what? It was about ready to close. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And she's like, well, you'll know when it's yours. And that's what I love about Danielle. She's not pressured. She's like, when the
Yeah.
time is right, it'll be right. It's fine. And I'm like, okay. So then literally a week after it was like, okay, we're closed, done. And I was like, so sad. I got the offer, like with it, a week after she closed, probably like that Monday morning, I got the offer. So I reached out, is it too late? She's like, no, it's not too late. And I was so dang excited. But then I have to tell you, um, everything started happening for me. So the reason why I was called into this group started just really becoming apparent
Mhm.
because when I just started, I was in a joyous place. I remember telling Danielle, I just can't get on these calls. I don't have time to go on these group calls. I don't have time. What's Kajabi? Like, I didn't have time.
I remember.
I was like, what? And I was like one of those people that would be just like anti-technology. Oh my gosh, I am the most technology open savvy person. Like I'm open. Like, why was I becoming like, why did I take on that mask or something, that
Yeah.
weird? And I was like, I know how to make anything work if I want to. But I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is too much. It was like, but I was just so busy. So then I was so busy. And then finally one day I was sitting in my job and I was just feeling just the euphoria of just so much joy. And nothing really had changed except my income, the earning potential, and being in this group. But I was just like, okay, I need to reach out to her. And so she agreed to have a one-on-one and she walked me through. Look, you guys, she walked me through the portal. She caught me up to speed. And I have to tell you, this group, first, it's amazing. The group of ladies, just the chat, even the chat in the beginning annoyed me because, like, why are these people talking so much? But then I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know who I was in the very beginning, but it was the reason why I'm here because I have a way of kind of limiting. And then we have the book club. Oh my God. Like, I have to tell you, there's so many bits and pieces that come together to make up Alignment You. You have the script to your magical life in 90 days. I can't remember the title. You have the
Close enough.
scripting, the journaling, the group call. that is magic, because just being on the call, you don't think you have anything to say, so you show up to listen and maybe jump in if you didn't get a time slot. And just listening to the other ladies and their questions, and Danielle's like amazing feedback. Just as like, oh my God, that is that. I was thinking about that earlier in the week, and now that answers that for me. That helps me out. But it always, for me, was pointing back to this upper limit, which we learned in the book club. We read this amazing book. And so everything is just, I'm here. I struggled to get here because of the financial aspect. I manifested that job. It was for me. It is for me. But even now, I sit at my job, and sometimes I'll be like, where's the next shoe going to drop? Like, I didn't realize that kind of stuff has been ingrained from childhood. But the thing is, I'm learning now is like, I can have anything I want if I really want it. I just need to be aware. And I'm more and more and more aware of my crap. I call it my crap. Like, I get in my way. I stub my toe. That my phone literally died 15 minutes before because I had the wrong charger charging it. Like, who does? Like, seriously. And so I'm just so happy to be here. And the women in the group are fantastic. Just they're sharing their support for you. If you have something, it's really bothering you, annoying you, or you just want to just share some happy memes together, it's really nice. And getting to know each other is really nice. And then all the different bits and pieces that come together, like I said, we have the book club, the script. When you get into Kajabi, it's like I don't know. It's like a vehicle. It's more than just a coaching program where you watch one thing or you have one book. It's like, if you're audio, if you're visual, if you're journal, if you're into journaling, if you need to write, and Danielle recommends all of that, because all of that get to help us strengthen and get back to what we know to be true about ourselves, and understand how we can create our life. And the life that I have right now, I created, and I've had to be honest about that stuff. And I need to be honest about the truth that, if I want something different, then how do I get in my own way? So that's really where I am in the group right now. Sorry if I'm rambling so much.
No, I love it. You shared so much. I love it so much. And you're right. Like, it's equal parts calling yourself out on your crap, or allowing me to call you out on your crap when it needs to be done, right? Because it's easier for me to see where you guys are holding yourselves back than it is for you to see yourself, right? That's one of the reasons why the self-accountability thing doesn't work, because sometimes we are, you can see what you can see, but you don't know what you don't know, right? So how can I make improvements to things that I don't even know need improving, right? Like, for example, like one silly example, one of the girls was trying to incorporate regular fitness into her routine, and she's like, okay, well, I've been a member for the gym for 21 days and I've only gone 3 times, and I wanted to go every single day. But it turned out that she's trying to fit it in at this weird time of day. And I said, well, why don't you try doing it at this time of day when you're already in your vehicle anyway? And she's like, oh, like, why didn't I think of that? Right. And it's like, I mean, that's obviously a very, very simple general example, but it's those things, right? Like, of course, I don't realize why I'm sabotaging this. Or Mary and I had a conversation the other day. She said, well, why is this happening? And I said, well, because X, Y, Z, you got to look at the bigger picture, right? And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. I only see what's happening to me. I don't see what's happening, around me, really, when you're too close to it, right? And that's part of the magic of the group, is opening your eyes to the whole big picture. Yeah. And then on the flip side, incorporating all the things, right? And I know some of you watching might think, well, that sounds like a lot of things, like a book club and the scripting and the calls and this and that. But I think everybody will agree with you that it does sound like a lot, but when you really dial it back and look at your priorities and decide what things are going to actually advance you and what things aren't, and how you're currently wasting time. Like, a lot of you who think you don't have time, it's actually because you spend way too much time dicking around on your phone or binge watching Netflix or whatever. Like, we're all guilty of it, right? We're all guilty of it. But when you step back and review your day and go, oh yeah, okay, I did spend, about an hour and a half down the Pinterest wormhole when I didn't mean to, I meant to look up one dinner recipe, and the next thing you know, an hour and a half is gone. That's an hour and a half you could be using to meditate, to journal, to script, to think deliberately about your next thing, right? Like I was talking about in one of the trainings, segment intending every single thing you do. Sit down at your computer and segment intend that is for building relationships for your business, not going down the Facebook wormhole. You know what I mean? Like it's very easy to get carried away. And that's why we all think we don't have enough time. But really what it is when you make the priority for things, you also find time for the things.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're
So go
going
ahead.
to, when we check in every week,
Yeah.
that is magic, because just sitting and writing through everything, you call yourself on it, like, oh, I didn't show up this week. And oh, I really well over here. Oh, I need it over here. And it gives you an opportunity before I submit it. Danielle's going to go, yeah. Like I'm like, dang it, I didn't do it again. But at least if I'm starting to figure out how I can incorporate that like a midweek check-in for myself, because there's a couple things that I'm just outright not doing. And why? It's like this the Kajabi, like, why?
Yeah.
Why? You know better. Like I can do it. Like what the heck is going on? It's just, but becoming aware that it's my stuff. Like I find silly things to take up my time, and the procrastination on certain things is insane. But because I am more aware of it, and then I can start to dig deeper into that and shift it. It's huge. And I can tell you the one aspect that's really made a huge difference too is my relationship, like with my husband. Just I don't jump into the fights as like I used to. I don't jump into defensiveness like I used to. I'm aware, and I'm much. It's like I could take a step back and breathe and figure out who what is this about? Is this me? Is this about me? What is he showing me? Is he a mirror, or is he projecting? And it gives me just that enough amount of time to think. And I don't respond to a text. I don't send a nasty, crappy, whatever. And it's improving a lot of things. And he actually is now come back around. And I didn't get even a chance to tell you, Danielle, but he was bummed out because he was wanting to take a drive with me to go do something. It was going to be like a half an hour trip. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it. He's like, darn it, I wanted to listen to that audio counselor. And what he was talking about was the big leap. I was listening to audio, and
oh, no way.
He wanted to listen because he heard me when I was working. Like I listen to in the bathroom when I get ready for work. So he overheard parts of it, and he wanted to hear more. And that's why I asked him, and he shot me down like a couple weeks before. So little things, like little nuggets, little things are improving. So where I'm going to be, I need to write this all out now. I know you keep reminding me to do that, because because it hasn't only been a few months, and where I'm going to be by June of next year, like, wow. And so I really want to just dig into this journaling. I really need to make sure I get on top of that and the gratitude stuff. And I say stuff, see, I kind of like put it, no, it's huge, because when I do it, it's amazing. But why I don't carve that little bit of time, I just have to. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I mean, if I can give you an on the spot live, coaching little thing here, because what's happening. This is what's the word I'm looking for? Very common, right? This is what happens is we know what we should be doing, but we don't do it and we know, and I think it gets worse once you have done it once or twice, like the gratitude, for example. We'll just use that as an example. You know, the gratitude makes you feel better, but yet you sabotage and don't do it. And that's because we are still breaking through your, good feeling thermostat, right? We're still breaking through that upper limit that allows you to not only feel good all the time, but to feel worthy of feeling good all the time, right? Like a classic example I had was, I was trying to get back into regular yoga because I've got minor scoliosis and my back is a disaster. And my chiropractor keeps saying, like, you have to move these things. You can't just like, I mean, I can adjust you. That's all good. But like, you need to be proactive, right? So I was trying to get back into my yoga routine. And after about 6 or 7 days of being consistent with it, my husband and I were standing in the shower, and I was like, actually, I feel really good. Like, I know it's only been a few days, but I feel really like good already. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, you went from doing basically no physical activity at all to yoga 6 days straight. Like, of course you're going to feel better, right? And I was like, yes. And then what happens? I stopped doing yoga because somewhere in me tapped out. It was like, okay, yeah, this is better than I'm used to feeling. So we can't go higher than this. We have to bring it back down to what you're used to, right? Which is what happens with the gratitude. It's what happens with the scripting. It's what happens with the journaling. When we start to make progress, our higher self is like, yes, you're on track, you're in alignment, this is what you need. And your ego is like, no, 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 no. I'm not used to this. I'm scared. I don't know where this is going to go. You're becoming somebody different that I'm not comfortable with. So I'm going to come up with all these excuses why you don't have time. Your husband's not letting you do it.
Yeah.
I'm too busy, like whatever the, trust me, I've been the person who my husband won't let me do it. I don't have time, not won't give me permission, but is not allowing me the time. Like I'm not able to carve the time out. When really, for me at least, I don't know if anybody else watching can relate to this, but for me, it's not that he's not giving me the time. It's that I'm not voicing the boundaries that I need and the time that I need to do what I need to do because I feel silly about spending that kind of time on my self-development, right? So I'm not going to say what I need. But then because I don't say what I need, and I talked about this in much more detail in a live about boundaries, but I would continuously have in my mind. So like today, for an example, I would have, if I had wanted to do journaling today, for example, or if there was a live I wanted to watch or something, I would have said nothing, but planned it in my head. And then we would wake up and he would say, hey, I've got this idea. Let's go to the pumpkin patch or whatever today. And I would go, well, I can't go to the pumpkin patch. I've got all these things to do. You never let me get anything done. La, la, la. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't even tell me that you know what I mean? Like, it's so stupid. So like, that's a clear indication of self-sabotage because I haven't even given him the opportunity. Because I can tell you right now, if I had said, like in hindsight, obviously it's 2020, right? But if I had just said, hey, by the way, Sunday morning, I really want to get some journaling done before we do anything, he might have been a little annoyed, but at least he would know what's going on and have a chance to accommodate me. You know what I mean? So it's just things like that. We set ourselves up for disaster because we don't feel worthy of the transformation we're after.
I do that. I don't want him to be annoyed with the things that I'm starting to do. And then he also gets jealous when he starts to see me doing it consistently. Then he gets a little just so I keep it to myself. Anything, and then when I am just not home or I just show up late, or then he's annoyed. Well, you could have just told me, and I'm like, oh, because I was avoiding the drama. Then I created more drama. So just setting the boundary and then having the respect for myself to say that. Then it's a commitment. It's a commitment with myself, and then my husband is aware. Yeah, I mean, seriously, these are all things that I know I can do better, and like I create more chaos than I realize. I like to think because I'm the quiet one that doesn't yell that I'm not. No, it's not passive aggressive. It's just super passive, and I need to stand up for my boundaries. That's huge.
Yeah, it is huge. And you're not the only one. Like I said, well, you and I have this in common where we've had spouses not totally on board, but for varying reasons, right? One of the things is, ultimately they don't even realize, okay, this is something that I need everybody to realize is, and just not in spouses, like family members, friends, whatever. When we start to evolve, our higher selves, everybody's knows all the things, right? So what's happening is the higher selves of you and your husband is getting a little bit like he's getting rubbed the wrong way because he can see that you are transforming and progressing and becoming better. And one of the things that can happen, I'm not going to lie, not that I think it's going to happen to you specifically, but in general, and this is one of the reasons why I delayed my own journey for so long, is because I was told, and it is true, I've seen it happen, so I know that it's true. When you start to grow and transform and evolve and expand and take up the space that you were supposed to be taking up this whole time, the people that are around you now are happy with who you are right now, but they may not be ready to grow with you, right? So it starts to rub their higher being and their ego the wrong way because what it actually is fear that you're going to take off. Yeah. That you're going to expand and evolve so greatly that you're not going to be a match anymore. My husband actually had the wherewithal to address that one time. And he was like, I'm worried that I'm going to be one of those ripple out, fizzle out stories, vibrate out instead of vibrate up. And I said, that's never going to happen. Like that will never happen. And he ended up following suit. But that is what happens, right? Is they start to get rubbed the wrong way because their ego is triggered like, oh, we're going to get left behind, but I'm not ready to do the things that I need to do. This is all unconscious, right? But a lot of the time they don't realize that you could just come too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just going to rub off on you. And I think that's what's happening to you is you are rubbing off on your husband and he's starting to come along for the ride, which is so fun to see.
It's really true. And then he also tries to sabotage me too. It's interesting. And he's the kind of in my relationship too, he likes to be together all the time. And
mine too.
And as I transform, I'm finding out. I used to think I was the same. I'm finding
Yeah.
out that I need more time alone, and then I
Yeah.
do appreciate really good quality friends with women. I just do, and I think
Yeah.
it's really important for me. So I've got to, like, as I transform and shift into that, like, it's already there. It's like I just have to physically get there, like
Yeah.
physically. Like, it's just, I could feel it. Like, I'm in this weird,
Yeah.
awkward place in my life, and sometimes it feels really painful, and other times it just feels like euphoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I'm aligned, it's amazing. And so just, yeah, the journey. I'm just excited for my
Yeah.
journey because
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, like, I was just looking and doing all these different things and different coaches and different programs, and yeah, I gathered a lot of great stuff
Mhm.
from some of the people that I coached with, and I still do. But I'm ready for what this is bringing for me now. What this is
Yes.
it's expand, like you said it best, expansion. Like, I'm just filling that space that I'm meant to.
Yeah.
Like, I am, and and it's okay, and I can have a
Yeah.
voice. And so that's another thing, just knowing that I can have a voice, and that I'm worthy of that, and like, people will want to hear from me.
Yeah.
Like, before, I used to think that I didn't matter, I was insignificant, and yeah, but that's not true.
No, not at all. And I think that's one of the beautiful pieces of the Alignment U puzzle is that there's a collective of women also expanding into their full potential too. So because I think that's one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't end up filling up the space is because they're surrounded by people who don't get it. Right?
Yeah,
They're around people who don't get it. Their spouses are not supportive. Their parents, you know,
yeah,
your parents see you as the little version of you, whatever persona they put on you as a kid, they probably still see that version, right? So it's hard for people and friends you've had for a long time, they know you as one version, right? So it's hard for them to not only support you, but also to really see it as a real thing. Because for me, like I am not the same person I was when I was in high school at all. Like people would
yeah.
not, I'm sure some of them who have me on Instagram are like, what is going on? What is she smoking? Like, what is going on? This lady is so weird. Like we went to high school together and she was not this weird. Or I was actually kind of mean in high school too. In hindsight, I was actually kind of mean. So I feel bad about that. But
Girl.
but but you know, when you have a collective group like this, you know, not only do you have the permission to take up the space that you need and that you should be taking up and that you came here to take up to begin with, but we've contracted into these little versions of ourselves, right? But you can see, you can witness other women doing it, you get permission to do it, you're encouraged when you do it. Like you really you know, it's like that saying, you are like the 5 people you spend the most time with, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're spending the majority of your time with I mean, we've got well over 5. We've got, I think, I don't know how many now, 14. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. Incredible, incredible ladies in our soul tribe here.
Is that our connection? That's
Oh,
kind
you're
of weird.
kind of fuzzy a little bit.
Does it work?
Uh-oh. It's kind of working, but you're kind of sound like a robot a little bit.
You guys always sound like robots.
Yeah, it's like a little bit weird, staticky. It's okay. We're almost done. We'll just keep going and we'll just hope for the best. Oh, it's really bad, eh? What is that? Mercury
It's my.
retrograde is supposed to be over. What is that?
I just don't know. I have to tell you, I'm the girl that didn't go to high school at all.
Oh
So because
yeah.
my son's so young, I just immediately started going to. I got my GED as soon as I had to wait a year, then get my GED and then go to junior college. But I did, so I was never prepared, and so I went from there to like working with a lot of older people in that environment. And so, I mean, I didn't go to schools, proms, and none of that, like dances, none of that stuff. And so for me, just the network of women, like I think I put it out there, like I really want to develop some really amazing friendships with ladies. And I have more women in my life now over the last year than I ever could have fathomed. And it's amazing because like,
Uh-oh. Oh, we lost her. Oh no. Okay, hang on one sec. I'm gonna see if we can get her back. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can get her back. I had a feeling it was something she was saying. She was trying to say earlier that she set an alarm to get ready to come live with me, and then her phone died, and then so that's why she was like, I didn't have, and then I couldn't find my charger and all these things. I'm just gonna tell her that I'm gonna stay on. Join me. Let's see if this works. I don't know. I don't know why, but technology just doesn't seem to want to cooperate this week. We're making it through, but let's just see if she comes back. Anyway, I love what Mary's been touching on, because she is like, it's just such a great example of the need to set good boundaries and the need to be surrounded by people who get it, right? And the need to be surrounded by people who get you and who accept you fully. And like, we obviously, the whole program, everybody, like, it's a totally, I have zero tolerance, and it's never even come up, but I have zero tolerance for discrimination, judgment. Like, it is a totally judgment-free zone. You can literally say anything. You can, because ultimately, when we're working through a lot of the stuff that we're working through in Alignment U, like, you come in thinking, I want to manifest more things and I want to, whatever the outcome you're looking for, right? But there's so much more to it than that. It goes so much deeper than that, right? Like Kendra said the other day, I came in hoping to manifest a bunch of money and leave my job. And I got so much more than that, because you have to go inward before you can have the outward manifestations, right? You have to do the inner work. This is what I'm always saying. I was actually just talking to a girl this morning in another group, and she says, her post was basically like, I've manifested all this money and then I lost all of it or half of it or whatever she was saying. And she's like, it wasn't hundreds of thousands of dollars, but it was a good chunk of money. And now it's gone again. And I said, well, because you haven't done the inner work to calibrate to being a person who has money, right? That's why you can't hang on to it. It's one thing to manifest things. It's one thing to manifest a windfall. It's another thing to hang on to it and be the person who has those things, right? So part of that is doing the inner work that you don't even necessarily know is required, digging in and looking at the things that you don't even know are in your way. A lot of, and actually even, I've got other girls in the program, they came in wanting one outcome. And I decided we first should focus on your relationship with your husband. And she was like, that's not what I want to work on. And I said, I know, I know, but based on what you're telling me and what you've said and what I know about you, it's where we need to start. Because once that, like, that's the biggest thorn in your side, right? If we can get that sorted out, everything else will flow so much nicer. You know what I mean? Like, we'll be able to sort out so many things, because so many things are rooted in that relationship and who you're showing up to be in that relationship, right? And that's not necessarily true for everybody, but it was true for this particular client. And like Mary was saying, there are things that have come up that she didn't know were going to come up. She didn't have any idea were going to be part of what she was going to be working through. But it's necessary to be able to get to the other side and be able to manifest a life that you love and align to who you really are, and be able to stay there and confidently attract all the things that come along with that, right? It's very easy to manifest a windfall of any good thing. It's a totally different thing, to hang on to it and have it stay, and for you to become the person who has the thing. And what I was going to say before she got cut off was how, when she was speaking on, I feel it already, I'm just waiting kind of for my reality to catch up. That's the goal. You have to get to the point where you believe it and feel it coming before it will show up. And that's how you know that you've actually aligned and calibrated to that version of yourself. Is now it's kind of like, I'm just expecting it to happen, right? Most of us are expecting to be in the place where we're expecting it to happen. And we think we're misguided in thinking that that is the feeling of expectation, but really you're just expecting to expect it, right? You're getting ready to get ready. So she is now exhibiting all of the classic signs of fully aligning to who she's supposed to be and just waiting for her reality to catch up, right? I have a meme somewhere that I create. I don't know if it's a meme. It's a picture that I created, and it says, you have to get there emotionally, mentally, and spiritually before you can ever get there physically. And that is very, very true. You have to have alignment in all those places first before you can actually have the thing in reality. So anyway, it's too bad that Mary came off. I guess her phone must have died or something. So she's not coming back, I don't think. So I wanted to say thank you so much for being here with me. The last thing I was going to ask Mary was just, for those of you watching on the fence, thinking about it, maybe you've attended multiple workshops, maybe this is your first one, you're thinking about joining Alignment U, you're not really sure what you should do about it, if it's the right move, if you can find the funds, if, whatever the situation is. And I'm going to say to you, like I said to her and like everybody else, ask the universe if it's the right move for you, and ask the universe to make a way to make it happen if it is. Okay. That's all you need to do. That's what happened to Mary. Like she said, she ended up signing after registration already closed, but she did manifest a job to make it happen because she knew it was exactly where she needed to be, and the universe showed up for her. And all the other ladies, I think, have said basically the same thing. You know, they knew it was for them. They trusted that it was going to work out. They found a way to make it happen. And here we are. So I encourage you to do the same. If you are feeling the nudge, if you're feeling the pull, if you're feeling called, if you want to be in my energy more, right, than just once every few months for a workshop, if you want to be in the room with me, hanging out, chatting, you know, coaching calls, getting my feedback, getting coached, being part of a collective of people who really, really want you to win and will cheer you on and will cheer you up when need be, please come and join us. At least send me a message. You know, I've said it, Mary said it. I am not going to push you or convince you that this is for you. That's, if I have to convince you, you're not ready anyway, right? So just come and ask me a question, right? Ask me a question. We had 2 amazing ladies sign up just yesterday. I've already had 2 current clients sign on for another year before their current year is up. One has 3.5 months left, and one is not even 6 months into her first contract, and she's already signed on for a second year. So if that's not a testament to the magic we're doing inside the program, I don't know what is. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'm actually pretty positive that if you reached out to any of the women who have shown up for case studies and asked them a question about the program, I'm sure they would give you a very honest, candid answer and be happy to discuss it with you. So I'm happy to connect you with any of them. If you want to send me a message and you'd like to talk to one of the ladies who recorded a case study, let me know and I'm happy to connect you. So that being said, I'm going to just let you know one last time, one last time for today. No, registration is open until Wednesday, okay? You can register for Alignment U until Wednesday. If you are interested in getting more information, or you'd like I can just send you the link with all the details so you can read over and see if it's for you, what's all included, what all the amazing bonuses are. You get all kinds of access to programs. You also get access to anything new I create within the year that you're in the program, exclusive of one-to-one offers and collaborative efforts, obviously. But anything I put on myself, you are more than welcome to take part in and will have access to, including the next round of Awakening Bootcamp, which was previously Consistency Kickstart, which we're doing in November, including the next round of Watch the Magic Unfold. We are doing The Magic, Rhonda Byrne's The Magic in the book club, which is going to be absolutely incredible. So you definitely don't want to miss that. I've got a new program coming at the end of November that I'm very, very excited about that even the Alignment U girls don't know about yet. So if you have any questions, if you want the info, if you at least want the link to review all the info, like I said, go over the info, what's included, read some testimonials, watch some case study videos, read the frequently asked questions, and get a feel for what's waiting for you on the other side of this life-changing decision, literally the best decision you'll ever make in your entire life up until this point. Send me a text. You can DM me on Facebook as well, or you can send me a text. Text info to 310-388-9974, just so that I can keep it all straight and I can just answer you with a link. And like Mary said, I'm totally happy to answer questions and discuss it with you, right? I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to push. I'm not going to convince. I'm just going to ask questions. I'm going to see if it's the right fit for you. And I'm going to encourage you to ask the universe for guidance and support if this is the right move. So with that, I will leave you. Thank you so much for being here. I am going to go live again tomorrow at, I believe, 4:00 Pacific Standard Time. I have Jamie coming in to do a case study with me as well. Her story is so incredible too. She did a money course with me earlier in the year, and then she did Consistency Kickstart, I think is how that happened, in June. And then she finally signed up in July. She has now since renewed for another year already. And she only has been in the program since July. So that is a huge testament, right? For her to want to sign on. She has manifested so many incredible things since starting the program. So I'm so excited to have her tomorrow to share all of that with you. And I just want to say thank you again for your time and energy and attention. I so appreciate it. If you haven't seen the replays in entirety, please let me know. I can tag you in the replays, or I can send you the link for the YouTube playlist so you can just watch it all in succession and binge watch the rest of Sunday if you want. And like I said, registration for Alignment U is open till Wednesday. Okay. If you have any questions, send me a message. Otherwise, I will see you back here 4:00 tomorrow for my chat with Jamie. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much.